Thank you all so much for joining again. It is April the 14th today. We are in Passover, and what an exciting time. And the today should be Feast of Unleavened Bread, if I got that straight. And Eran will tell us. And somebody was asking the question, everything that you feel to share with us, Eran, we'd love it. We love it. And Raheli, hello, love you guys. Thanks for being on, even during Passover. Somebody was asking me about what, like even all of this week, what's going on in terms of our most businesses closed, are some closed, some open? Just what does it look like for, a week of Passover? So if you could answer that question as well as everything else you have to share with us, Aran. So appreciate you. Over to you, friend. Thanks.
Hi, Patricia. Great to see you all. It's a good question. I was wondering about what is the good answer for you. So I will tell you. In Ariel, for example, all the businesses are closed except one. Uh, we are open. And so I think people that earn money is closed, and people that work for the Lord is open. I think this is the equation. If it's okay, I'm not sure that it's business-wise the smartest thing to do, but we are open. There is a lot of people that going to vacations, especially the religious people. It's a good holiday for them. They can travel, they can go. Everything is open, thank God. But we are open. Today we are have a group, two groups, like 50 people that came, students, and tomorrow we are inviting all the people from Judea and Samaria to an open day in the National Leadership Center. So it's going to be a challenging day because a lot of people will come in one hand, but in other hand, it's our bless to host everybody, and all the team will be there together. But so it's a different week in Israel. The traffic is less. It took me less than an hour to go from Ariel, so it's a bless. People taking vacation in a way. I'm going to travel with Levovit and the boys on Shabbat, on Friday, Thursday. I'm not sure. I have to look in my calendar, but we are going together, and it's going to be first time after 3 years that four of us is going to do an overnight together. So it's such a blessing. We are waiting for that. I hope that nothing will happen in there until then that we can continue. So again, we are continuing to count. Today it's the day of 554 days of war, and it's not end. It's not end. Yesterday we have a missile attack from Yemen. What should we've been in the shelter. It was yesterday afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Uh, it was before the holiday. It was missiles that came from Gaza. The IDF is strongly inside Gaza. Judea and Samaria is on fire, and it's hard. It's really really hard. We get a sign from one of the hostages, Idan Alexander. He is an American citizen. He have American citizenship.
Yeah.
It was very hard to see these young people are still there. And around the table on Shabbat, in the Passover night, we're asking a lot of questions, but the biggest question is why they are still there. Why there is still 59 people that are under the ground, sitting there, and this is something that it's really not understandable. Uh,
Mm,
you can understand President Trump and Iran. You can understand a lot of things, but why 59 people not sitting with their families? I think most of the houses in we did it, of course, left an empty chair for them.
mm,
And when we are praying that Elijah will come
yeah.
in the Shabbat evening, we pray that he will bring them to our houses. And one of the things that I will I have we have a group today that, as I told you before, I'm speaking with the people that are coming and praying with them, and praying for the shalom and for the hostages.
Mm.
And one of the things that I have today, I was sitting with young people, and in the end of the day, one of them came to me. I think he was 13. He said to me, "Ran," no, he said to me, "Old man," me. He said to me, "Old man, it's going to be okay. I have hope." And I look at this child, and I say to him, "But why?" He said, and he took me to the Passover, Agadah. And yes, last time I was speaking with a little bit about the DNA of the Jewish people, that we educate our children. And in this Passover night, I was sitting with my family, and we was reading from the Agadah. And around the table, it was children from the age of 2, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And we are reading for 3 hours the Agadah, singing songs and happy about everything. And there is two verses that my nephew, that is like, I think he's 6 years old, was reading. And then I say to myself, oh my gosh, he was reading the one which stood for our ancestors and to us, not only the individual who stood up against us to destroy us. Rather, in every generation, some stand up against us to destroy us. But the Holy One, blessed be He, redeems us from their hands. Think about an environment of a child, that this is how is hearing every year, every year, every year, every year is hearing that. Another thing that another nephew of me that in the same age was reading. We are reading in circle. I'm starting because I giving me the honor to lead that, and I'm starting and everybody is reading. And another nephew in the same age was reading, and the Lord heard our voice, as it said, and God heard their cry, and God redeems his covenant with Abraham, with Isaac, and Jacob. This is the environment the children are growing in Israel, and you don't need to be a religious and go to the synagogue to hear these things. And I was reading in yesterday also in Shabbat, I was reading about a person, always a person, be particular person, to maintain an inner flame. We're speaking about the temple, and we're speaking about an altarage. To build an altarage, and we need to do fire all the time. We need to keep the fire. This is one of the orders that they got the leaders there, to get the fire also burned. And I was thinking about that when I heard this child. I understand that we as people, as Jewish people, one of our DNAs as a family, we don't have a temple now, but we are in this Leil Seder. We are building an altarage. We are building a place that all the family is sitting around, and somebody have to put the burn to continue and continue and continue. And I think this is something that is really important. You are reading that in Leviticus, a particular fire shall be kept burning on the altar. It shall not go out. This is something that we are doing every year. We are doing that in Rosh Hashanah. We are doing that in Yom Kippur. We are doing that in the Passover night. And like Jeremiah said, in my heart, like a burning fire, shut, shut it in my bones. I was weary of holding it back, and I could not. It's something that the Jewish people cannot afford himself, and it's to worship to worship God and to put the burning on the altar. It's something that you need to be you be a total devotional to do it, devotion to do it. And every morning that when I'm praying to God, I said, English, our eyes with your Torah, and attach our heart to your commandment. This is something that we are saying every morning. Inner fire, inner fire. And I think when this child is coming to me and say to me, old man, we are going to have hope, This is something I think the NLC is doing in the nation of Israel. The altar, this altar that you don't see, the spiritual altar that we are building as Jewish people, you need to bring wood to that. It's a most of the families in Israel are putting that if they like that or they decide that or they know that, they're putting that. You know, when we are giving the Torah in the second grade to the children, this is a step of that. When they're coming to the National Leadership Center and speaking about the life of King David and hearing about that the King David came in the by the name of God, Lord of Almighty, it's another wood in this burning. And when they're going to the IDF, this is another thing because they understand that they're protecting the nation. And I think what we are doing in NLC today, when I saw a child that came to me and said to me, Eran, it's going to be hope. And I was trying to understand from when this child have this ability to even say that or think about it in these horrible and hard times, it's because of the altar. The altar that he get in his womb is his mother, in his mother pregnant. This is something that this is flowing in the DNA of the people. When a child is inside a pregnant, his womb, his mother, this is something that he cannot run from that. You know, he cannot, this is him. This is him to understand that why is here and why we are here. But always, we need to be there to make this light fire. Unfortunately, there's children that don't have the ability to somebody to give them. We see children that coming youth in risk, children we not that don't have parents in their life. We see children that by law they are going out of the house because it's risky. But these children of God, I think, and I think that if their family don't give them, somebody have to give them, and the somebody is us. This is something that is going to make Israel strong forever. Nobody is going to kill us, and nobody is going to destroy us, and nobody can delete us. They try to do it. They try to do it. Pharaoh tried to do it, but he cannot do it. And we are not going to be slaves. And this is the fact that we are saying in the Leil Seder, everyone should have to see himself like he was a slave in Egypt and like he was going out of there to the desert.
Mm,
Maybe the desert is not finished yet, but the altar, the flame, the desire, the
mm,
desire to live here as a Jewish people, strong, this is our thing. And I promise you all, any child or any person or any human being that
mm,
don't have somebody to put this flame in his heart or in his altar, I'm going to be there. We are going to be there. This is our mission. This is our obligation to put the wood inside that, to make this love burn because it's for eternity. And a generation after a generation and after generation. And I shared that with you last time, I think, if I'm praying every morning and put the Bible in my living room, my son is going to love that and going to appreciate it, going to understand that this is it.
mm,
This is my altar. This is my small house, my small community, my small nation, my small world. Because
mm,
every and each one of us have the role to influence on these things. And we are going to be there. And I'm going to be there. And for any child that maybe there is 1% that is lost his hope, we are going to bring the altar. We are going to go to his high school. We are going to go to the camp of the IDF soldiers that they're in war or not in war. Our
mm,
mutual responsibility, and it's a
mm,
lot of responsibility to make sure that every and each one of the people and the Jewish people that living in Israel are going to be around an altar, around this process, and we have
mhm.
to take this care. Think about that if the flame will stop for a second in the temple. Terrible, right?
Yeah.
So this is the times that we are living. There is a lot of satans, there is a lot of devils, there is a lot of darkness that threat on this altar. But this altar, no to survive Pharaoh, no to survive the Holocaust, nor to survive the 7th of October. We are here and we are strong and we are healing and we are crying and we are bleeding and we are healing and we are strong. But this is because of the altar. The altar that we start to build then, and it's going to be forever. The flame of the Jewish people, the commitment to the God, to commitment to keep ourselves alive as a community. This is the altar, and each and every one of us is there. This is what I'm choose to do every day when I'm coming. And I told you that before, and I'm telling you that again. Sometimes you need a child in the age of 13 that is going to say to you something to understand what you are doing here. What is my purpose in life? I was thinking that I know my purpose, but this war brought me to a place that every day I understand and I renew myself in a way to understand what is my purpose. And I encourage you all to do it and to see what can you do to keep this flame? What can you do to continue that the Jewish people can continue strongly and nobody will strong it. Bring the word to your churches, bring the word to your communities, bring the word to people that don't understand why it's so necessary to keep this flame. I'm going to do it, you are going to do it, and I'm
Mhm.
sure that the world is going to be better. I saw orphans and widows that they didn't lose that because the parents that is still there with all the pain, the tears, and the sorrow continue to bring the flame to the house. He show up every morning, even it's
Mm,
hard. He cannot look in the eyes of his children. He cannot give them the emotional support that they need. But he understands as a parent that this flame should continue to live because we, the Jewish people, are
mm,
choosing to live. We are choosing in life. We are not choosing in death. We are not choosing in darkness. And I think this is something that every morning we have to wake up and ask ourselves, how can I put something small to the altar? And as much as the altar is going to continue strongly, we are going to be strong. It's going to be a better world. It's going to be a safer world because the values of the altar, you cannot be a crook around the altar. You cannot be a liar around you cannot be a man that not honor his father and his mother around the altar. The altar is holy, and you cannot behave a different way other to be a holy. And if we are going to start to practice ourselves to understand that, if we are going to practice ourselves to create an environment of altar, the flame is
mm.
going to be huge, the devil is going to be out, and we are going to win.
Wow. That is a powerful, powerful talk right there. Can I just say it's Leviticus 6:13 that he's talking about? It's a good verse to highlight. It's like that the fire on the altar would never go out. And just think of this, what we would probably call like an open heavens. There are literally places you can go and it's like you feel God more than you can also go to places where you feel evil. Because, anyways, wow, this is so good. There's many references in the Bible that where the land is personified, the land groans, or the land vomits, the land, grieves or whatever. And so this is a place, the National Leadership Center, where God dwells. If Rahalia is still on, maybe she would post. I can also do what I have, but if just a good video or a good link for the National Leadership Center again. So we want everybody to know about that. There's new people that come on these calls. Aron, so good. Thank you so much. Really appreciate what you're doing and cultivating, and it's just very, very important. The fire in the altar of our heart should never go out, as well as in region. There's Racheli put a good post in. Sharon, please let's pray for this. Let's pray and bless Aran and the National Leadership Center.
Well, thank you, Eran. It's good to be back this week. I was on vacation last week, so I'm